Hello and welcome to Frugal Over 50. I'm Amy and I'm happy to welcome you here to my channel where we talk about everything related to frugality, minimalism, and intentional living, especially aimed at the needs of the mature woman. If you're here for the first time, welcome. I hope that you really enjoy this kind of content and that you'll consider subscribing to the channel. On today's video, I want to do a follow-up to a video that I did a while back, and I'll link it above here so that you can see it, and also down in the description box. That video was called My Money History, and I wanted to do a follow-up to that to talk about my money history in adulthood regarding a major life change that I experienced as I was transitioning from my 30s to my 40s. Now, not everybody will be able to relate to this exact major life transition, but everybody goes through major life transitions at some point. What happens to you in your life and in your finances when you go through a major life transition after you're already settled into a life that you expected to lead and something changes? The change could be very positive, it could be very negative, it could be any big thing that comes your way. Now, in my case, the change makes me chuckle a bit, but at the time it was, of course, quite huge and life-changing. And the change was that I discovered that I'm a lesbian. I discovered this out of the blue at age 39. And those of you who are going, what? What's the matter with her that she didn't know that before age 39? I know. That's what makes me kind of chuckle. Now, there are some social and cultural and religious reasons why it would not have been at all to my advantage to have discovered this about myself any earlier than I did. But still, I mean, usually people have a clue, don't they? Well, I don't necessarily want to get into all of the personal ramifications of making a discovery like that very late in my life, but I do want to say that I feel a commonality here with anybody who approaches middle age or just the end of their early adult years and thinks to themselves, wait, what kind of life am I in? Did I mean to get settled into this? What? And then they also feel like they have to keep going. Maybe you feel sort of trapped in a certain life that you maybe finally realize you weren't ever meant to lead. And that's kind of the direction I want to go here. Anytime you have a major life change, whether it be something like mine or something like whatever you are thinking of from your own life, there are financial implications as well as emotional implications. And it can be very difficult to separate the two. In fact, this is something I actually discussed in therapy because my therapist pointed this out to me when I couldn't see it. And for those of you who experienced a change in a very traumatic way or something that has been long and ongoing that really wears you down emotionally, you understand exactly what I'm talking about here. This matter of how do I address the emotional intensity of this life change and not go into a state of financial, I'm going to say disability almost, where you become unable to cope financially. And I don't know that I have any answers. This is not a 10 points to financial success in the middle of life change type of video, but it is one to tell you that I have been through it and that it has taken me several years to come out of that change, really believing that I deserved to have a good financial situation. And this may not be your experience. If you had something sort of thrust upon you, you may feel like, well, I definitely deserve to have a good financial situation. But one component of my life change was going back into my mindset that I was brought up with, where gay and lesbian, bisexual, transgender, these kinds of issues were not discussed, were not named. There was very much a feeling of I don't deserve to exist. Now for me, I've talked about this in previous videos where I will sometimes think I'm not going to be able to afford that, so I better buy it all now. Or, oh gosh, I'll never be able to afford it. I have to do without things that I really need. And that mindset came into play here as well, where sometimes I wouldn't think far enough into the future because I didn't really believe that I deserved a future. And there was also the I better get it all now because I may not last that long. Really fatalistic. And so that combination of not buying things that I needed, but then indulging in things that I could have done without at the same time. And that might seem like a small thing, but it had an effect on my finances because I discovered that I was not looking in detail at the current situation, and I wasn't looking realistically at the future. It's fine, but it's taken me a really long time. I'm going to say it was about 10 years, a decade, of trying hard to figure out how to think about money in the context of my new life. And this channel is a part of that growth because now I'm able to talk to you about what I actually want to do with money. And you'll notice, if you are a person who's been following along, I started out looking in detail at 4 aspects of my life, the cash envelope system, right? Groceries, household, gas, and miscellaneous, my weekly expenses. And then just recently, I've decided to branch out and think about savings, paying down consumer debt, and looking at intermittent expenses, what YNAB calls true expenses. I'm also starting to think very carefully about retirement. And I am fortunate that I have a job that helps me to do that. All of these things are pretty new. Now, back when I was 39, I was thinking about those things, yes. But I was thinking about them as a straight, married mother of 2 in a stay-at-home mom situation. And it has taken me all this time to come to the place where I can positively and with a smile on my face and pretty publicly talk about my own finances, thinking about the current situation, the medium term, and then the long-term future. So if you are wondering, what is the takeaway from this sort of rambling video? Here it is. First of all, I deserve to exist, and so do you. No matter what life change came to mind for you when I started talking about my own life change, you deserve to exist. You deserve to live out the remainder of your existence in peace, in happiness, or at least in the gentle pursuit of happiness. And you deserve to have as much financial stability as you can bring for yourself and as your world brings to you. So that's the first takeaway. The second thing that I would say is it's okay to take your time to figure yourself out. But if you are still in that transition period, just remember to step back every so often and go, I deserve to exist. Therefore, I deserve to have money both now and in the long term. Don't spend it all now, but take care of your needs. So take care of individual and personal and family needs without sort of overindulging in a reckless way. Stay calm. This is sort of the theme of my channel so far. When it comes to money, stay calm. And then the third thing is, when you feel ready, start to plan. Look at where you are now. Look at what's coming in the medium term. And then yes, you deserve to retire one day. You deserve to sit on the beach or on the porch or take that bicycle ride or hike the Pacific Coast Trail or whatever it is that you want to do. You deserve to do it. And you deserve to save for that time period. Now, what this means for your life choices and your financial choices will be very different than what it means for me. But I am a person who has gone through a major life change, very close to midlife, and I'm coming out on the other side to tell you, like Dan Savage would tell you, it gets better. I want to thank you for joining me on my journey thus far. It has meant so much to me to have you along for the ride, and I hope that you will continue to join me as I continue to grow and expand. And I want to thank you for watching this video and for learning a little bit more about where I have come from emotionally in my life decisions, in my life discoveries, and also in my financial choices. If you like this video, I hope that you'll give it a like. If you like this kind of content, please subscribe and hit that notification bell so you'll be notified first of new videos. There are more coming, and I look forward to seeing you right here next time. Thanks a lot. Bye.